All right, guys. So I'm Matt from Westpark Fitness. I'm here with Seán from Health Matters. He's been in Westpark for 9 years doing metabolic testing, VO2 max testing. You've probably seen him run people on treadmills. We're going to do a quick Q&A for you guys. Seán, do you have any background you want to give?
So as Matt said, I'm in Westpark doing metabolic and VO2 testing. So I've been there 9 years. So April 6th was our 9th birthday. So I'm sure you've seen me floating around. I've done a lot of nutrition courses over the time, a lot of sports nutrition. And on the 1st of May, I'll graduate as a nutritional therapist. So it's been 4 years studying that. So this Q&A is going to be based on questions that have been put in through Instagram and Facebook, and all things nutrition based. So Matt will ask the questions and we'll answer them.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll kick straight into it. So first question is, can you recommend quick, easy, and healthy snack recipes?
Okay, so the first thing that came to mind when I got this question in was to the person that sent this in is to get this book. So this is Daniel Davy's book called Eat Up, Raise Your Game, and it has a lot of healthy snack recipes in it. Now, in the context of the question, the healthy snack recipes, obviously I'd like to know a bit more in terms of the person's goal. But I think the best idea with healthy snack recipes is try and keep things as simple as possible. Try not to go and create and make things that require so many different ingredients. So keep things simple. For a snack idea, the likes of a chopped up apple with some nut butter, some carrots with some hummus sticks. You could look at making, and everybody seems to be doing at the moment, banana breads or porridge breads or oat bars. Seems like the thing to do. It's one of the things I've done over the time I've been stuck in the house is I've learned to make different types of breads and add in as much nutrients as you can into them. So in terms of snack recipes, yes, we can definitely give you some recipes. Once we figure out who was the person that sent it in, we can organise Westpark to send you on some snack ideas. But again, I would say get this book if you can by Daniel Davy, Eat Up, Raise Your Game. It has some really, really good, healthy, nutritious snack ideas in it.
Right. Okay, so during this isolation, tips on how to help keep your diet on track.
I think this was a really, really good question. And the first thing that came to my mind and the first thing I've tried to do is try and keep routine. So whatever time you normally go to bed at and the normal time you get up at and the normal time you eat breakfast, try and keep that routine in place, because then you're going to keep in the habits. You're going to snack like you normally would. You're going to eat your main meals like you normally would. I think the problem is that we are in our house all day and we're exposed to going to the fridge or to the press more often than we ever would if we were in work or if we were out of the house. So trying to make sure that we have a routine, so breakfast snack, lunch snack, dinner snack, or whatever way we train, we're going to eat around that as well. I wrote down a couple of different things. So if you're snacking more, try and make the choices that you're snacking on of better quality. So have your fruit, have your nut butter, have your nuts, have your seeds, have your better bad choices. You know that you're going to be making a bad choice. How can you make it better? Also, if you're going to the supermarket, don't buy as much junk food. Now, I know Easter's just gone past, but if you're going to the supermarket and you're buying chocolate and crisps and everything that you know that you shouldn't be, you're going to eat it if it's in the house. So try and limit the choices that are the bad choices that you make when you're shopping, and try and bring in a much higher quality snack ideas. Now, one thing that I'd snack a lot on would be like say chopped up apple with yogurt, some cinnamon, throw some protein powder on it, throw some nuts or seeds in it. Simple little things like that. I've started to make a good bit of smoothies. So like frozen fruit, water or milk, depends on what you want to use. Again, some yogurt, chia seeds, some greens, a variety of fruit, veg. Just trial and error really. But again, I think the best thing to keep your diet on track is to keep routine.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I'd be saying a lot of with the routine, anyone who's out of work would find routine is getting thrown out of whack, because I know I've seen a lot of people posting, new sleeping patterns. It's 1 a.m. or it's 5 a.m. to like 1 p.m. or something would be your new sleeping pattern. But that would affect you mentally a lot though as well, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Like I know it's easier said than done to try and keep the routine. I've been the prime example. I've never watched as much TV in my life or as many documentaries on Netflix, and it's been unusual in that sense. But yeah, routine is hard. But I think the habits of like trying to create in your head, like if you're getting up later, you don't then have to have a breakfast. If you're
Yeah,
getting up later and it's closer to lunchtime, have a lunch, have a snack, have a dinner. You don't have to go, I have to have breakfast snack, lunch snack, dinner snack. Because then you're going to bring in more calories over the day. So utilizing the times that you get up to create or to implement habits with your food. One of the other things I also wrote was blood sugar balancing is going to be really important. So making sure when you do eat is that your food that you're eating is containing your full variety of food groups, being protein, fats, and carbohydrate. Mainly getting protein in with all main meals to kind of stem or to slow down that blood sugar imbalancing that happens. So if we're just having carbohydrate-rich snacks, i.e. crisps, chocolate, red butter, well, butter's not good for it to stem that, but we're just having our easy, accessible snacks, it's then going to cause a spike in blood sugar, which will then cause a crash in blood sugar, which is going to promote us to want to snack more on high sugary products. So try and make the snacks that we have good quality, make sure they contain protein, and try and keep it in, I think, is the best thing we can do.
yeah, deadly. Nice handy one. What exactly are macros?
But it leads on to this, the
Yeah.
previous answer. I knew this question was coming as well. So macronutrients, very, very straightforward. There are three main food groups. So protein, fat, and carbohydrate are your macronutrients. And why do we hear so much about them is because that is what our food is. It's made up of three macronutrients: protein, carbohydrate, or fats. A lot of people will macro count or have food plans based off macronutrients. So why someone would hear a lot about them is because people will be talking about, let's use the example of paleo or ketogenic, which is going to be low carb. Or one of the things people do at the moment is they count calories. Calories are in macronutrients. So our three macronutrients: carbohydrate is 4 calories per gram, protein is 4 calories per gram, fat is 9 calories per gram. So if we track our macronutrients, we can then inversely track our calories. So why you hear a lot about them is because it is what we eat. It's the makeup of our food
Yeah.
in a short.
I think what's confusing about that is that I've seen it before is that on like nutritional things that you get on
Labels.
food, yeah, it's not giving you your macros. It's giving you like fats, saturates, carbs, salt, or something like that. Like it doesn't actually give you your macros.
That would make it too easy, and then people would know what they're eating. So no, macronutrients, very, very straightforward. Just your protein, your fats, your carbohydrate.
Yeah. So based on our macros, one of our questions was, okay, so avocados are a source of healthy fats.
Yep.
What other sources of healthy fats, like where else would you get them from?
So this is one of the questions that I'd like to know a bit more in terms of the context, why the person wants to know where to get healthy fats from. So there's lots of different options to get healthy fats in. So again, I've wrote different ones down. You're going to have the likes of your eggs, your fish, your nuts, your nut butters, your seeds, good quality olive oil, coconut oil. There's plenty of good quality fats out there. So your good quality fats are going to be your mono unsaturated and your polyunsaturated fats. So one thing we have to be really aware of, and I think a lot of people promote, and I understand why the promotion of good healthy fats is there, but remember, per gram, fat has 9 calories in it. So I know a lot of people come into me and they go, I eat a lot of nut butter, I eat a lot of nuts, I eat a lot of this, I eat a lot of that. And I'm like, yeah, but you have to remember they're very, very calorific. I would be a big fan of promoting good healthy fats. You have to remember the calories per gram. So 9 calories per gram. If we're having too much fat, we're going to have too much calories coming in. Now, depending on what your goal is, that might be okay. But if your goal is to drop weight, just be really, really aware of the calories per gram that come in. So to go through them again, the likes of your fish, your eggs, your nuts, your seeds, your nut butter, good quality oils, coconut oil, they're all going to be really, really good sources of good quality fats. Now, why someone would take them or why they're important to take, for cell and hormone production, good fats are really important. There's also studies showing that they've been known to lower the likes of blood pressure, good cholesterol production. There is massive benefits behind it, taking good quality fats.
Yeah. It would be very highly recommended to weigh out your kind of fat sources as well, though, stuff like nut butters and seeds and nuts, just because I'd personally like go ham on like a pack of nuts, you know, the big bags that you get in Lidl. And
Yeah, like I drive a lot with work, and I used to just have like a big Tupperware of nuts in the car, but I would just eat them if they're there with me.
yeah,
So I had to bring a much smaller Tupperware with me. But again, it has to be goal orientated and goal
yeah,
focused. Like currently now at the moment, I'm not in a position where I'm tracking anything in terms of calories, macros, not just because of quarantine. Goal orientated at the moment. I don't have focus another couple of months, and I wouldn't necessarily be tracking, but I would be aware of the content of high containing fat foods I'm having in a day. Maybe just due to the knowledge that I'd have, but to be aware of that. Like I think like 11 almonds is 109 calories in it or something like that. 8 cashews is 100 calories. So they're so calorific. You
yeah,
just have to be like a spoonful of olive oil has over 120 calories in it. So these are the things that people aren't realizing, and it will tie in nicely to another couple of questions. It'll probably tie in nicely to the next question. So we'll go on to that. If you want to ask that
yeah.
question there, and I can liaise into it.
So dark chocolate, is that the only food that you can get copper from naturally without
But
supplement?
just hold that question. Maybe you ask this
Oh,
one.
yeah,
So there's so many nut and seed options out there. Okay, so I got the question there. Maybe you didn't see it. So there's so many nut and seed options out there. Should I have as many as possible in my diet, or is there some better than others? So again, bringing that back into context, why is this person looking for that high quantity of nuts and seeds in their diet?
yeah,
So we have to be aware of that high calorific load that's going to come in with them.
yeah,
So it's always good to add a variety in. We're going to get a much more high dosage of vitamins and minerals from different seeds and nuts. I use the example of flax and chia seeds. So flaxseed will have a lot more manganese, more copper, a lot more potassium than chia seeds, but chia seeds will have a lot more fiber, but they have more calories.
yeah,
So a good variety and a good mix of nuts and seeds is good from a health perspective. But I just bring it back to that point. Be aware of the calories that are in the high fat foods that you're taking on board. Good fats are good, but just be aware that we don't take too many on.
yeah. Lovely. So I'll go on to that dark chocolate because you know Easter just happened.
I wonder how many people had dark chocolate Easter eggs though.
I definitely didn't. So dark chocolate is good source of copper for your diet. Other than dark chocolate and supplements, where else would you get copper from?
So the first thing, when I read the question, first thing that jumped up at me was liver. So liver is such a good food for nutrients. I don't know if people eat it. It's so cheap. Organ meats are so good, and they would contain a decent amount of copper. Your leafy greens are going to have a lot of copper in it as well, as will your oysters, and then nuts and seeds. So these questions have kind of rolled in nicely. Your nuts and seeds are going to be a good source of copper and getting a good variety. I would, again, like to know a bit more. So if this person is watching the video, if you could send in maybe an email or response to the Instagram, why you're looking to get more copper into your diet. One
Yeah,
thing you need to be aware of copper is that if you take too much of it, it can become quite toxic. So we need to be aware of it. Now, if there is an underlying health condition where copper is being recommended, or again, it is known to help with immunity, the production of red blood cells, that type of thing, contribute to bone health, you would just wonder why the client is looking, or this person is looking to get in a higher dosage of it. But again, if you want to, livers, oyster, nuts, seeds, leafy greens, are going
yeah.
to be your best.
What would be your kind of top, like, as like how much copper you're going to get out of it? Like, because if like nuts and seeds and all that have a lot of everything in them, pretty much.
What do you mean in terms of milligram?
Yeah, like in terms of like, would liver be the best kind of source if you're looking like you say, like if this person needs a lot of copper, like would you say like
You really need to talk. I'd have to really talk to them
yeah,
in more detail. Realistically, I can't just answer it, you know, because one of the things I think we need to understand in nutrition is that we're all so different.
yeah,
Our requirements, our makeup, genetics, our job, our work, our lifestyle, our sleep patterns, you know, our body fat. There's going to be so many different things that we need to look at from a nutritional perspective. So from an individual perspective, we would really need to look into this person's request in a bit more detail to answer that question. But
yeah,
just the straight up question, where you're going to get more copper: your liver, your oysters, your dark greens, nuts, seeds.
yeah, deadly. So someone's trying to gain weight in a healthy way, and they're already eating 3,300 calories, and they're still not gaining weight.
The very, very short answer:
Yeah.
eat more. So, calories. If you don't eat enough, you won't gain weight. It's like losing weight. If you're not losing weight, you're eating too much. If you're not gaining weight, you're not eating enough. So I'm going to throw it out there and presume that this is a male. 3,300 calories. I presume he's training. This is just assumption now. I could be wrong. So the weight that he's looking to gain, probably going to be muscle weight. So three things needed for muscle weight is going to be adequate protein, muscle stimulation, and adequate calories. So calories going to be at or just over what you're expelling. So the 3,300 calories isn't enough for you. You're going to need to look at bringing in more calories. And the questions have kind of rolled in nicely because we could look at the food that they're eating and say, okay, well, can we add some chia seed or linseed or flaxseed to your food? Can you add an oil to your salad? Can you have coconut oil in your porridge? So you're looking at bringing in calories that aren't going to make you full because you're not physically eating them,
Yeah,
but they're going to be brought into your diet, adding calories to your food very, very simply, and to get you over that restriction or that calorie input to get to the goal that you want to do. Now, if you find that you really are struggling to get to where you want to get to, the metabolic test that we do will give you exactly how many calories you require to achieve weight gain, loss, or maintenance. So if it's something that you want to try just to change your diet now over the next few weeks, God knows when we're going to be back testing in Westpark. But if you wanted to give this a go to say, look at your food and look where you can input more calories. So the likes of porridge for me would include chia seed without fail. I would throw in coconut oil if I'm in a bulking phase. If I'm having a salad or even when I'm having a rice or anything like that, I could throw in some oil as a dressing. And again, handfuls of nuts, handfuls of nut butter. If you're having smoothies, throw in higher contents of calories into them through liquids. And you should be able to get that calories up. But the reason you're not gaining weight at the moment, I'd imagine, is you're not eating enough calories to achieve a surplus. A surplus is going to be what's going to create weight gain.
yeah. I found that with a lot of people saying about they can't eat enough calories. I'm like, I wish I had that problem. It's like, it's just like calorie dense foods to help like just bulk up your it's like, say, like you're not going to be full, but you're going to be eating like nut butter.
Again, this is just assumption, and again, I could be wrong on it. But when people are trying to bulk up, they tend to eat really, really lean. So
Yeah,
they eat like really good, high quality vegetables, really lean sources of protein. They get really strict on their diet. They don't have any bad food, so to speak. So what their input of calories is, it's quite low. So I'd imagine this person is struggling to hit 3,300 calories. But look at bringing in, look at your macro breakdown. So what's your fat content? You know, is there enough protein? I'm going to throw it out there and say you're probably having enough protein. You know, like you're looking at about 1.8 to 2 grams of protein per kilo weight of body mass, and then look at bringing in higher calories into your diet. I hope you're training. Now, if this is someone that just wants to gain weight because they might be skinny and you want to do it in a healthy way, looking at that fat breakdown is going to be really, really important. And as Matt just said there, people physically can't eat the food. So look at adding it to your food without knowing it. The likes of, I know I'm repeating myself, chia seeds, nut butters, oils, that type of stuff will help your calorie range go up. And it could be something as simple as only a couple of hundred calories that's stopping you from achieving this goal. So if you're eating 3,300 calories and that's a maintenance figure for you where your body's happy, then all of a sudden you bring in 3,500, that creates a surplus, then you're going to start to gain weight. going to want to obviously have it in as much as you can in terms of the calories, how quick you want to get there. But look at your lifestyle as well. Like, are you active? How many times a week are you training? Is your job very hands-on? Do you take a train or a bus or a Lewis every day? Do you have to walk to it? Like, there's a lot of people, a lot of parts of people's life that they don't really understand, that they're expelling more energy through what they do day to day. You might require 3,800, 4,000. Like, I've had people that need to eat 4,500 calories a day to gain weight. So it's a tough place to be. A lot of people would envy you, and I know people watching this will go, "Oh, poor you! You can't gain weight at 3,300 calories." But, just embrace it while you can, and look at fat as a macronutrient, as your best friend.
Yeah, I found that with the metabolic testing that you do, is that like with like calories, you can guess, like you say, like if he's at 3,300 and just add a couple of hundred calories, like you'll gain weight. What I found with the metabolic testing is great because it's straight to it, it's straight at your numbers. It's like that. This is exactly what you need to eat. I found that just.
Yeah, so the metabolic test, just for this person, if they do, or anyone that wants to do it, metabolic testing we use to analyze your unique metabolism. So exactly how many calories you expel in a day. So if we know exactly how many calories you get rid of in a day, we can then program or advise on the calories that you need to take on to achieve your goal. So metabolic testing will be used for weight loss, weight gain, or energy maintenance, or just physical energy to get through your day. So, yeah, no, it is. It's a really, really handy tool to have to use. If the guesswork is no longer working and you want to come and get a test done, just I'll give you the contact. Yeah.
So in regards to diet, someone was asking, would you recommend keto diet?
Again, I'm going on assumption here. Is this keto diet to drop weight? I don't know. Would I recommend a keto diet? If it helps you restrain and not take calories in, go for it. I think why keto is so successful, especially in Ireland, and people I know, is that when we eat carbohydrate, we tend to eat large portions of them, but we also tend to add lots of oil, sauces, and butters. So let's use some very simple examples: rice, pasta, bread, potatoes. We never just eat them straight up on their own. Hands up how many people would have just said, "Oh, I just had potato, no oil, no butter, no sauce." Same with your rice, same with your pasta. So when we reduce carbs, so let's break down what keto diet is. Ketogenic diet is going really, really, really low carbohydrate in your diet. Now, personally, I have done keto before, just from a weight loss perspective, and it worked really, really well for me. I got really lean, body fat went down. I was really strict to it, but I was really tuned into when I was eating, how frequent I was eating, what my meals were made up of, how often, what was my blood sugar balancing like, what I needed to take on board. If this person is an athlete, I would strongly not recommend it. Like, if you are trying to perform anaerobically, which means you're working at a high intensity, generally about 60 to 70% of your max heart rate, your body's fueling source at that point is glucose, which is carbohydrate. If you're trying to perform at a high level and you're keto, it isn't going to work. I've worked with many clients over the years that have found, with the restriction of carbohydrate, not going fully keto, just going low carb, that it worked really, really well for them. And I think the reason is because you get away from that high processed food with massive additives of oil, sauces, and butter.
Right, yeah. So you'd recommend more of a low carb diet instead of a keto strict approach? Maybe if you're an athlete, maybe, but again,
Carb cycling as an athlete, I think, works really well. So on your high days, have higher carbs, and your low days, you don't necessarily, or your low intensity days, you don't necessarily need as high dosage. I'm not going to say yes or no as a direct answer would I recommend it, because again, let's bring it back to people's lifestyle. What works for them, what doesn't work for them. Do they need it? Currently now, I don't think I could function on low carb due to when I'm in work in Westpark, I could be doing 10 to 12 hour days, up and down the stairs, steps, training all the time on the go, never really sitting still. I find keto doesn't work for me anymore. Now, as I said, I did it in the past, but I did it 6 or 7 years ago and it suited. But now, no, carbs are not evil. Carbs are not bad, but when you eat good quality carbs, homemade, there's no issue, but just be aware of your portion control, how they're cooked, the additives that you're putting onto them. I have had massive success with clients that have never had success with weight loss by introducing low carb.
All right. We're going to move on to another question of what are the benefits of chlorophyll water, and is it just a fad? Is this something that's just...
This is gonna, I'm completely honest with you, I didn't have a lot of knowledge of chlorophyll water, so I looked it up. I looked into the studies behind it. So let's just be really clear. Chlorophyll is just a green molecule found in plants, and the health benefits that are promoted or thrown out there at the moment are: it stimulates the immune system, it eliminates fungus from the body, it's known to detoxify your blood, it cleans your intestines, it gets rid of bad odors, it energizes your body, and it's been shown to prevent some forms of cancer. They're really, really high benefits promoted there that I looked into, and it kept saying studies, 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 but I looked up these studies, and a lot of the conclusions are very, very inconclusive.
Right.
I would not be putting all my eggs in one basket and tell you to go drink chlorophyll water, because I don't really know, again, what your goal behind it is. So if we break it down and say it's a green molecule found in plants, if we were to introduce a higher dosage of green quality veg in your diet, is that going to achieve the goal that you've set out behind wanting to have chlorophyll water? So is it a fad? I would say yes.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not 100% sure on it. The research I've done into it, I wouldn't be running out to get chlorophyll water anyway. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. It's like anything that it's saying that it can do, you can do with an overall balanced diet anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any knowledge of chlorophyll water?
I have never heard of chlorophyll water before. There's the other waters, like, you know, I've heard of like the smart waters and anything else that they've added minerals and stuff to. I've never heard of chlorophyll water until that question came in, and immediately I did think that's a fad, like, because I mean, once it starts claiming that it's going to cure cancer, that's kind of when I kind of hear alarm bells. I'm like,
yeah, no, it is. I wouldn't, as I said, I wouldn't be rushing out to get it. Now, one of the other things that it comes up in is that one of the negatives on it is that it's been shown to cause digestive issues. So the likes of promotion of diarrhea, loose stools, like dark, hairy stools, that type of stuff. So people will tend to want to take a lot of it because of the health benefits promoting behind it, but it can cause massive issues. So if you are to go and give it a go, just be aware of how you feel and function digestive.
yeah, it's like if it doesn't suit you, just stop.
Just eat real food.
Yeah.
Add higher quality green veg to your diet. You should.
We've got one more question. Do you have any tips for encouraging a family member to eat smaller portions if you're concerned for the obesity problem?
Okay, so that like, it's funny the way the question have gone, because they can all kind of really tie in. Like, if you were to want to concern for obesity and you want to reduce portions, would you be looking at having a smaller plate? Are you going to reduce the content of carbohydrate on their plate? Can you add in more vegetables on their plate so they're fuller? There's less calories coming in, but there's more food coming in, so you're going to be fuller for longer. Have a higher protein content because it gives you a higher satiation factor. There's lots of different things you can try. The first thing that you're going to need to do is, does this person acknowledge concerns around the obesity or the weight gain? You have to be tuned into it, or you have to be open with them and say, look, we're concerned where you're going on this, or I'm concerned about your weight. Let's try and reduce the content of processed food, or let's try and reduce the carbohydrate load. Isolating what this person eats too much of. Smaller plate, more vegetables and fruit in the diet, so you're reducing the calorie dense food, promoting of low calorie dense food. And just, again, I know it's food related, but try and get them to move more. You know, I know it's very simple to say eat less, move more, but now, again, in quarantine, we have the chance to go out as a family or with the person that you live with to, let's go for a walk. Even if it's, I know you can only do 2 kilometers, but you could do it 10 times if you wanted. Even go out and do a kilometer, 500 meters the first day, and try and promote a bit more movement, and then promote the healthier foods or the higher content of veg, or try stuff that you've never tried before. There's no easy fix, unfortunately. It's awareness. Definitely reducing the level of processed food, reducing the carb load, which I'd imagine could be high with oil, sauce, and butters. Add in a much higher quantity of vegetables, and try and talk to the person and be honest with them about your concerns behind.
Yeah. Making it a team effort as well, as I think is what is good at that. Like, say, like if this person is particularly healthy, like they could say, okay, I don't have enough fruit in my day, so like let's all try to have more fruit or something like that. Just make it more of a, we'll do it all together. So rather than saying you need to,
yeah, isolating them on their own, you mean?
yeah, because then they'll just feel bad and they won't want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. They're all our questions anyway. Do you have anything else to add on to that one, or are you happy enough?
Not really. Look, it's the first time we've done it, so I think it worked quite well. Questions coming in, people want to know various different things on nutrition, so hopefully we've answered it to the level that they wanted. A couple of people that I wasn't sure of the context of their question. If they want to follow up and give the context of their question a bit more, we might be able to go into a bit more detail on it.
Yeah. And where can people find you?
So obviously we're based in Westpark, but we're not there anymore. I'm up on the top floor behind the Olympic weightlifting area. We have an office in there. My website is myhealthmatters.ie. The Instagram handle is healthmatters6411. On Facebook, we're at Health Matters Ireland, and on Twitter, we're at Health Matters with 1T. Apologies for not having one handle for everything, because I set them up at all different times. So yeah, look, I do metabolic and VO2 testing. When this ends, we will, and I'm delighted to say that we will be offering nutritional therapy out of Westpark Fitness. So I'm really excited to do and offer nutritional services in Westpark Fitness. So nutritional therapy is kind of a much more in-depth look at physiological systems of the human body to promote optimal health. So there's many, many different things that we'll cover with nutritional therapy. So many underlying health issues can be not solved, absolutely not, but we can contribute massively to the improvement of a lot of issues due to analyzing the physiological makeup of somebody and adding in good quality diet and advice on supplements to help them achieve it. So I'm excited to do it. I know the management in Westpark are excited as well for have the oncoming service of nutrition to be able to be offered out at Westpark. So nutritional therapy will be offered by Health Matters when we resume, because of the fact that I am graduating May 1st and we're on lockdown until May 4th. I'm excited to do it. If anybody's interested in doing it before the lockdown is lifted, all consultations can be done online. So the way it would work is I'd get an initial phone call in with somebody, and then we'd send them a pretty detailed, like this, I don't even know how many questions there are. Like, I know one of my questionnaires is 309 questions on it. It breaks the human body into 19 different physiological systems. So we can actually pinpoint exactly what the issue is and what's causing the problem. So we can do it all online. And if there is any questions, or if people want to send me an email, my email is sean@myhealthmatters.ie. That's sean@myhealthmatters.ie. Or you can phone me. All the contact information is on my website anyway, which is myhealthmatters.ie.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well,
all right.
Thanks for your time, Seán. If anyone has any questions, sure, shoot them out on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere at all. Go directly to Seán, or you can always send them to us here at Westpark. And thanks again, Seán, for your time.
Thank you.